Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name's Angel, and this week we're going to be doing a random number generator chooses how many pages I read for the week. That was a mouthful. Let's go. If you guys have watched my videos before, you know I'm a pretty fast reader. So I feel like I always put 100 as my minimum when I do these challenges because I feel like even reading 100 pages for me is like not really reading in a day, to be honest. And normally I read more than that. So, because for me, I normally read at least a half hour in the morning, at least half an hour at night, or maybe on my lunch, I'll read a little bit of my book. So, pretty much, I read about like 120 plus pages an hour. So, you guys do the math there. It happens very easily. But I think I'm gonna do 100 to like 300. I think is be the range for this video. I'm filming this intro on Sunday. We're gonna start tomorrow on Monday. So, I do have Meet Me at the Lake by Carly Fortune, and this one has to get read first and has to get read quickly because it is due back to Libby, I believe, already on Tuesday. I got as like a skip the line loan where you had 7 days to read it. And my thing with Carly Fortune is I've not read a Carly Fortune book since Every Summer After. And if you read that book, you know why. That third act breakup thing, it didn't fly for me. Didn't do anything for me. Actually made me hate the book. When I checked across the room, I think I gave the book a 1 star or like 2 max. So sad as I was loving the writing up until that point. I was saying like near the beginning I had 5-star feelings because like how much I love the writing, the story, everything. And then she absolutely ruined it completely. And the problem is I hear such good things about her writing and I want to try more, but I don't want to spend my money on a book if I already know I haven't liked one of her stories before. I do want to love them so bad though, because her covers are stunning. This was a skip the line loan. I was like, you know what? I'll read this quickly, see if I like it, and then maybe I can try collecting some of her books like via like Marketplace or thrifting, because they're stunning. And if I like them, that'd be great. And then the last books I have in my September TBR is Fool's Errand by Robin Hobb. So completely different direction. This one is the first book in the Tawny Man trilogy. So it's like the third series in Robin Hobb's like huge overarching realm with the elderly. This series is back in Fitz's perspective, and I have kind of missed being inside his head. So I'm excited to see where we pick up in this one. Her books typically take a little bit more brain power for me, and I kind of, I don't want to say struggle with them. That's not the right word at all, because I enjoy them, but they're definitely like I read these a lot slower. I have to take my time a lot more. And this one is like a 600-page book, so I feel like I'm hoping to finish these 2 this week. If we can pick up a third, I'm not sure what it'll be. We'll think about it. But I'm probably gonna generate the number tonight for tomorrow to see what we're gonna be reading, how many pages. I do work a double tomorrow, so I'm hoping for like a lower-ish number, but still like at least 150 to 200 would be nice. Because I don't know what time I have to return that book on Libby on Tuesday. Sometimes it's like, oh, Tuesday at like 3 p.m. So it's like I'd have to finish it in the morning before it got returned. So I would like to get a decent amount of pages where I can get into it enough that I can hopefully finish it before it gets returned. But without further ado, let's dive into this one. Hello friends, I'm sorry about this lighting. Welcome to my bathroom. You've never been here before actually ever in any of my videos, but hey. It is Monday. This is the first time we're checking in. It is like 9 o'clock at night. We're checking in pretty late. This book is a little bit tricky because it's weird where some of those Libby books, I'm not sure you guys have ever experienced it, where it's a Libby loan, but for some reason it won't send to your Kobo. You can only read it on the app on your phone. So I have to read it on my phone, and I believe right now I'm 29% of the way through, and I think I do the math because then obviously the pages aren't accurate on it either, and I had to read to 55%, which I have to do. So I have a little bit of ways to go. These two, like 10 years ago, met and had like an incredible 24 hours. Like they met, the chemistry was undeniable, everything was like insane, worked out really well. And then they made a deal to me a year later, and the main character Will didn't show up, but Fern did. So now it's been 10 years since they met, 9 years since he was supposed to show up and didn't. And he kind of just like shows up. Circumstances brought him there, but now you get 2 timelines. You get timelines of in the past when they first met, and then now. It's really fun and I'm enjoying it. I'm gonna go cozy in bed and try to finish the rest of the page that I have for today. And I'll probably also just like generate what I have to do for tomorrow so I can mentally prepare myself, because I need to finish this book by tomorrow. So I hope I get like a higher-ish number, at least 150. Hello friends, let's do an update. It is Tuesday now. I just got home from work, so it's only about 4:45 currently. Like I said, unfortunately Meet Me at the Lake had to be read on my phone, and because I still film the majority of my videos on my phone, obviously I couldn't really get much content while I was reading it. However, I did finish it this morning. So I actually ended up reading up to page around 189 yesterday, because with where the chapter ended, I read 59% of it, and then I read the remainder today. And I forget the math, but I pulled 246. And then whatever I read, I can do that math quickly, 132. It maybe was what I read of Meet Me at the Lake today. Because I know I just have 114 pages left for the rest of the day, and I'm going to pick up Fool's Errand. I checked, and a chapter ends on page 116, so we'll be reading up until, so I got to get to here today, which, crazy, still 100 pages, and there's still all that. But I am slightly anxious about this because I do enjoy Robin Hobb's writing, but it's just definitely a lot more slower paced. I think especially for reading a couple contemporary romances back to back, as well as Zodiac Academy and Akawar, it's definitely be harder to get back into her writing style and her dialogue and language. So I'm a little hesitant, but Meet Me at the Lake, I think I'm going to give a 4-star. Definitely a lot better than the first book I read by this author. Like I said, I read Every Summer After and almost chucked it against the wall. I did not like it at all. just because the ending, obviously. I thought it was a cute romance. I liked that it was set in Ontario because obviously I knew everywhere they were talking about, which is a lot of fun. I think I will read her other two books if there's an opportunity to either like get them from like Marketplace, little free library, maybe cheap on Kobo, or as a Libby loan. I'll definitely pick them up and read them that way. Things I think her covers are stunning. So maybe if like thrift them for cheap too, I'll grab them. Who knows? That was book one done. It's Tuesday. We're gonna be starting this guy today, and like I said, 100 or so pages today, and there's over 600 in this. So I'd like to think that by Friday I definitely could finish this, and then we'll see. I'm thinking if I finish this, I might pick up Foxglove next, which is kind of a left field because I didn't really have that on a TBR planned. But I did just get Wisteria as a Libby loan, and I have it for 18 more days. So I'd like to kind of get Foxglove read so I can read Wisteria before I have to return it because I do not have a physical copy of Wisteria yet. But enough rambling. I'm going to try to get these pages done early because then I'm probably make dinner in about an hour or so, and then it is Dancing with the Stars night from 8 to 10. So we're booked then. So hopefully get it mostly done now, maybe a little bit right before I go to sleep, but let's get into this one. Also, sidebar, really, I want to show this because I think it's so funny. There was like time ago, somebody on Book Talk was like, hey, if you need bookmarks for your books, go to your local like Canadian Tire, wherever, and get like paint swatches as your bookmarks. And so I have a couple smaller ones that like match some covers pretty well. And then I have these longer ones that kind of have a range of colors on them. And I'm currently using that as my bookmark for Fool's Errand because it kind of matches all the shades on it. To be honest, it's pretty good. There's something very random, very weird. Kind of same as like matching annotations for me, but I just have a couple just like regular, very pretty bookmarks. But I think it's always kind of fun when I can't see one right away. I just kind of grab one of these paint swatches and use that. Friends, pardon my appearance and happy Wednesday morning. Friends, I started Fool's Errand last night and I did finish my pages. I had to read 114. I read page 116. I've also read 32 more pages today, so I'm at page 148. But I do have to read to page 316 today because I had to read 200 pages. But where the next chapter falls is actually 332. So the bookmark is where I am and this is where I have to get to. So quite a bit of reading needs to get done today. I'm enjoying it pretty much. I think it picked up a lot quicker than the Farseer trilogy did just because we already know kind of the people, the world, what's going on. I feel like it was just so dense in like world building and character creation last time. This is when you pick up 15 years after the end of Assassin's Quest, and pretty much Fitz is where he is at the end of that. And then so he comes from his past and it's kind of like, hey, we need you. And it continues. I'm going to my e-reader to work with me each day for reading on my lunch break. So I'm going to bring my physical book with me. And then we do have my little sister's birthday dinner tonight. So I'm not sure how much time I'm really going to have. So hopefully I can read during my lunch and then squeeze some pages in kind of wherever I can today. Because it might be the way we finish these 200 pages. But we'll see. Happy Thursday morning, friends. Sorry for the lighting. It is the gloomiest of gloom fall day. We have a lot of numbers breakdown here, so I hope I can make this make sense. But so I had to read 200 pages yesterday. I did that. I got to page 332. That's even going like over what's where the next chapter ended. Then I pulled 279 for a number for today. Today's the day where I work from pretty much 9 to 8:30 at night. I have two jobs. I go back to back between them. It's going to be hard to read that much, especially of this book. So what I did was I already read a couple more chapters last night to give me a little bit ahead, to give me a head start, because with me pulling 279, that brought me to one chapter from the ending of this book. So pretty much I'm just going to finish this book today. That's the goal. So I read up until from 332 to 391 actually last night after I pulled the number to get me a little bit ahead. And they did pop off this morning. And I read all the way up to page 497. So we're all the way up here. So now I have about 130 pages for the rest of the day. I think reading like one chapter on my lunch break, and then that'll probably be reading 4 chapters in the epilogue when I get home. That's very doable. So I'm actually really loving this. Definitely more than I liked the first trilogy. Not sure it's a popular opinion or not. I'm guessing it is because like obviously we know Fitz a lot better by now. But yes, my e-reader with me. Read some during the day today and hope this keeps going the way it is. It's going really well. Okay guys, so it is 10:30 at night on Thursdays. I go back from dance. I watched some Hocus Pocus, ate dinner, and now I was reading a little bit while we were watching Hocus Pocus, but I have 70 pages left and it's 10:30. I'm just gonna get cozy, finish this up. We should definitely finish our pages for today and I'll get them for tonight for tomorrow. And I said I think I'll be starting Foxglove tomorrow, I think, which is like a random pick. Hasn't really been on my radar recently, but like I said, because I got my Libby loan of Wisteria, I do want to get it read soon. So really enjoying this. Probably like a 4.25 to 5 star at the moment. Hello friends, let's tackle some updates because it's Friday, but it's already Friday after work. It's like 6:30 right now. So I did finish my pages and finish Fool's Errand last night. I will say I liked this book significantly more than the first book of Farseer. I'm gonna give this one like a 4, maybe 4.25 feels right. I think it set up Golden Fool very well, and I'll already be reading that shortly, so that's very exciting to me. As I'm trying to start doing series where I read them more closely together. I feel like a big part of the reason why, like, I struggled with the first two in Robin Hobb, but I feel like I was leaving too big of a gap between them, and I wasn't immersed enough in the world. I'm gonna say I was dreading it because it's definitely not the right word, but I feel like it was just more of a drag to get through them. That's just like honest. Hearing the Artifacts of Ranos, and I left almost a year between books just accidentally because I just like wasn't picking for TBRs, and then I literally DNF'd the series. I stopped it, and I was like, I wonder if I would have liked it more if I just read it straight through and I wouldn't have DNF'd it, probably. So I'm doing that with a couple books right now. So like I said, next week I'm also going to read Golden Fool, and then I also started Foxglove and reading Wisteria right after this as well. So this is book 2. So you still have Cygna's POV, and you also get her cousin Blythe's POV now too. So there's 2 in this book. Of course, guys, I picked my matching paint bookmark, which you guys can see it there. I went with like this ready one to match the cover. And just reading a little bit this morning and reading a little bit at my physio appointment. I am now on page, what is it? 86, and I freed 110 for today. A real treat. I do think I will go over because I do want to finish this book and one other this weekend. I'm thinking I'm probably just going to read a bunch tonight. We'll see how far I get. If I'm still pretty early in the book, I don't think I'll really give an update on it in this video, obviously, because the challenge ends today. I'll just talk about my September reading wrap up because for you guys, September reading wrap up is going to be the next video you guys see after this one, so it won't be that long of a wait. If I read a bunch today, I'm on like page like 250, 300, and the book's like 400 something pages. I'll probably just give you an update on it tomorrow when I finish it. I'll just kind of pop in and let you know my final thoughts on what the book was. So if I'm enjoying it, like I said, I don't really know much yet. We're not too far into it. So I'm just gonna sit down and read, but really I only have 24 more pages for today. Definitely do more than that. But it's kind of nice that this is like the lowest day I've had and it's on the very last day. So it's like it doesn't feel like a challenge at all today. This feels like very 110 pages is like what I read, like I said, like I'm already at 86 without even like really thinking or even trying to read more, which how much I normally read. So it's kind of like a lax day for the last one. Wrap up this video because it is now Saturday and I did finish my pages of Foxglove last night. I read 110 and I was like, oh, I'll probably easily crush that. I read 136. I don't read much more. And then as of today, I've already up to page around 200. I think I'm going to end it here though, and I'll just give you guys my thoughts on this in my monthly reading wrap up. Normally I don't like doing that and I wouldn't do that, but I'm posting this video on a Thursday and my wrap up is already going to be up on Sunday. So not a long wait. You find the answers very shortly. Bridgerton also is following like another kind of like murder mystery, and we're getting a couple other like new main characters into our plot. So obviously we have Cygna and Death. We also now have Blythe and Fate. Blythe we already know, but she is Cygna's cousin, and then Fate is Death's brother. There's a very interesting dynamic between Death, Cygna, and Fate that we're kind of discovering and still working through. I think it's gonna be really, I think might add something to the story. I'm really excited to see what happens there. Yeah, I like these. They're just quick, easy to read. They're kind of like a mystery element, fantastical. It is just a lot of fun. And it's YA, so nothing's overtly complicated. I am going to be reading this, and I'm probably Wisteria in the next week or two also. Like I said, I'm trying to read series a lot closer together. So I'll probably read Wisteria shortly after this one, and I'm really excited to finish this trilogy up. But to recap all the books I read, I think when I first finished Meet Me at the Lake, I gave it like a 4. I might lower it to 3.75 because I finished a book 3 days ago, or 4 days ago now, and I've not thought about it once since. It has not crossed my mind once. And I already forget about the characters, to be honest. Like, I remember the plot of the book, but like nothing like nuance with the characters, nuance with the story. I don't remember anything like that. So I think if it's not sticking with me this much, and like it's been this quickly like out of my mind, it wasn't really that great. I read Fool's Errand. I think I will stick with a 4.25 for this. I really love this. Like I said, this was a much stronger start for me than the Farseer trilogy. But I think it's because now I love the characters. I'm in the world. I'm more invested. Whereas first book was a little bit harder to get used to her writing style, how slow it was, how character focused it was. First one I already knew what I was expecting. I already liked the characters, knew the setting, so a lot easier to get into. And with it being like halfway through this right now, I think I'm gonna give it around a 4 right now. We'll see where it ends up. You guys will see in a couple days. But yeah. If you guys like today's video, you guys know what to do. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. It helps the channel out so much. I'm also on Book Talk and Instagram, Angel's Book Corner, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.